So now that I have shown you how to do paths, whether they're straight paths or curved paths or combinations, I want to challenge you to show me what you really learned. So with this assignment, I'm going to go to File and Open, and I'll find my Chapter 10 folder, and I have folder 10.2, Figure Paths. I'm going to start with another little comic book cover here, made by Lee, Kirby, Romita, and Nielsen, issue number 1. So what we need to do is add a figure to our cover. I'm going to go to File and Open, and I've given you 6 different images of different cosplayers. You have Batman, you have Harley Quinn Clown, you have another one, a friend of mine. You have Iron Man, which has a lot of detail. You know, if you really want to know your pen tool, try tracing this guy. You have Sinestro, and you have Spider-Man. Okay, so let's say I want to do a Harley Quinn. I'm going to open that, and you can see when I zoom in, there's a lot of smooth curves. There's no stray hairs or anything like that. Maybe a few little bumps I'll have to trace around this, but for the most part, this is a pretty clean edge. I need to trace her out, to cut her out. So what I'm going to do is zoom in nice and close, and then I'm going to go to my pen tool. I've already activated the white arrow in case I make a few mistakes, but I want to make sure that I can see my pen tool very clearly. So under your preferences, on a Mac, it's Photoshop Preferences or Photoshop and Settings. On a PC, that would be Edit menu, Preferences down below. And then you're going to go to Guides, Grid, and Slices. Right down here, you can change the color of your paths if you want to. Okay, mine is set to the default of blue. I've set the thickness to 2 pixels just so it's easy to see on my screen. You could go really, really thin or even thicker, but I think 2 is pretty manageable for me. If you were tracing Superman and he had a blue outfit, you probably wouldn't want blue paths. So that's why you have the ability to change the color. Okay, my computer might be one of those things where even if I change the color, I might have to restart in order to activate that. So let's see. I want yellow paths. I click OK, and then I'll just draw 2 points. Cool, yellow worked. I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but I like yellow. It's nice and bright. It's going to work great on this character. So I'll hit delete, delete, and now I'm ready to trace. So I'm going to start right down here underneath the photo. Click and drag up. Every time you let go, move. Okay? You want gaps between your points. Let me delete that and show you the most common mistake. The biggest error I see is when people click and drag, then they let go and they click and drag, then they let go and they click and drag, then they let go and they click and drag. You're going to get a really bumpy line. Okay, the process is click and drag, let go, and move. Click and drag, let go, and move. Click and drag, let go, and move. If you have short curves, drag, move, drag, move, drag, move, drag. You get the idea. Okay, you always want to have a nice gap between your points. So I'm going to hit delete, delete, or backspace, backspace, and now I'm ready to trace this figure. I click and drag right along the edge, let go, and that's a nice simple curve. So I'll come all the way up here. Click and drag. See, I can bend that curve pretty well around that calf right there. I'll hold my space bar to push more into view here. Option key for a corner. Click and click. There's a little straight line. Option key for a corner. Click and drag right there. Option key or Alt key on your PC for a corner. You're going to be drawing with a lot of corners. People have lots of corners on them. I just saw 1, 2, 3 corners right there on the back side of her knee. Option, I click and drag, let go, move, click and drag, let go, move, click and drag, let go, move. Notice if the leg barely bends, I stay right on the edge. Let go, move. As it starts to turn, I'm going to deviate a little bit. Notice I'm just off the edge, but that created a nice curve down there. Let go and move. Click and drag, let go and move. Click and drag, let go and move. Click and drag. There's another corner. This curve comes up and stops. Now I hold Option and click for a straight edge, like a combo path. Option and click and drag from a corner. No Option key at the end and I drag. Option key to start from a corner. I click and drag down. Short line because I'm only going this short distance. Short line because I'm only going this short distance. I drag before the turn of her elbow, come around after the turn of her elbow. It's going up, I let go, move up, click and drag up. I'll come back and make a little bump right there, like a little corner. Option or Alt key, short line for a short curve. Option or Alt key for a corner. We'll do another little bump. It goes in toward her arm, turns and comes out, turns and goes back in. Option or Alt key for a corner, short line because I'm only going this short distance right here. Let go and move. Bigger gap because that's not much of a curve on that arm. Now I go way up here, click and drag up, let go and move further up, click and drag up, let go and move further up, click and drag up. Now this shoulder comes up and stops. There's another corner. Option or Alt key. There's a few bumps along this, so I'm going to make short little distances. Drag, move, drag, move, drag and move, drag and move. I get this kind of little wavy, kind of bumpier line for this rougher look on her little anvil here. So let's keep going. Short line, short line, short line, short line, short line. Get a nice little bumpier edge. Option key for a corner. We'll do a short line and a short line and a short line and a short line. Let go of my mouse, move way up because this edge barely bends, so I can go way up there. Let go, move way up because that edge barely bends, and we'll go right up to there. Let go, move, now it goes up. Let go and move, now it goes up. I got more little bumps, so I'll hold Option for a corner. Do short line, 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 short line. I want some bumps there. Now, as I'm drawing, that's gonna kind of get a little hard to see yellow against the bright sky. So I'll try to go back to my preferences, guides, grid, and slices. And let's change that back to blue. There we go. Go back where I left off. Click and drag to connect to the end of the line, and then I'll continue. Drag, move, drag, move, drag, move, drag, move. And I'll keep doing these little bumps just to give the hammer or anvil, whatever you want to call it, a rougher look. Short little lines makes more bumps. Okay, longer gaps are easier, smoother curves. tiny gaps make more bumps and bumps and bumps and bumps and bumps. So keep that in mind as you're tracing your character. I'm going to do a bunch of little tiny gaps here so I can get a few more bumps and a more organic, rougher look on the head of this hammer right there. Okay. Now I get to the smooth part again. Option or Alt key for a corner. Goes out. Notice I'm right near the edge because that barely bends. I let go of the mouse, come way down here. Barely bends. Then I let go, come down here. Option key for a corner. Now I'll do a slight little gap right across the top. Then I'll come over that hill and go down. Then I'll go up and down and up and down for a few little bumps. Option key for a corner. We'll go out, come around the curve and come down the curve. Option key for a corner. But part of her head goes down. Then it comes down. Option key for a corner. Now it starts to go out this direction, up and to the right. I let go, move, click and drag down and to the right. Let go and move, further down and to the right. Let go and move, further down and to the right. Let go and move, further down. Let go and move. Almost straight down, let go and move, down to the left. I want a few little bumps so this looks nice and rough. So again, very short distances between my points. Option key for a corner, very short line and very short line, very short distance, very short line, very short distance. And I want these little bumps right here to look a little rougher. So we'll do tiny, tiny, tiny little gaps and tiny, tiny, tiny little lines to make a rougher edge right around this little puff ball. There we go. Option key for a corner. This goes up. Let go of my mouse and continue to go up. Let go of my mouse and move, up. Let go of my mouse and move to the left. Let go of my mouse and move to the left. Let go of my mouse and move to the left and to the left. Option or Alt key for a corner. I'll go down, move, down, move, down, short little gaps because that's a short little distance. Little bumpier lines on the edge of her mask right here. Option key for a corner. I'll come down, move, down, move, down, move. Notice I'm dragging right along the edge of her face because this is not much of a dramatic curve. Down and move. Down and continue in the direction of that chin. It hits another corner. Option key. I'll go out, comes around the turn, and comes down to the left. Option key for a corner. Super short line, because that's a super short distance right there. Option key for a corner. Now it goes down to the right, move, down to the right, move, down. Option key for a corner, short line for that short distance. Option key for a corner, short line because I'm doing a short curve right there. Let go, move, click and drag, let go, move. Now it goes up to the right, let go and move. Now it comes down to the right. Option key for a corner, it goes down to the right. I let go and come around that turn of the shoulder. It goes down the shoulder right there. Let go and move. Bigger gaps between my points because these are really smooth edges. A bigger gap right down here for a smooth curve along that arm. A bigger gap right down here for another smooth curve right along that arm right there. Option key for a corner, very short line for that very short wrinkle in the fabric. Option key for a corner, very short line for that little wrinkle. Option key for a corner, very short line for that little bump or wrinkle. Option key for a corner for a very short curve for that wrinkle. Option key for a corner, and then I'll drag, move, drag, move, drag, move, drag down the length of her arm. Click and drag. Option key for a corner will go around this little bump in the fabric. Option key for a corner, and then I'll just click and drag a very, very, very short curve. Option key for a corner, I'll go up, come around the turn, and go back down. Option key for a corner, click, click for a straight edge. Click and drag to start a curve, come around the corner, click and drag to continue a curve, let go and come down to the end, click and drag to finish your curve. Option key for a corner, the little thing goes out. Let go of the option key, come around the turn and go down. Right here, go before the turn and right after the turn. Option key for a corner, it goes down, short line, because I'm only going that short distance. Now it turns and comes down. Option key for a corner, I'm going to do a bunch of little wavy lines. So it goes up, then comes down, then goes up, then comes down. Option key for a corner, drag up, drag down. Option key for a corner, drag up, drag down. Option key for a corner, drag up, drag down. Got a few little wrinkles in the fabric. Option key for a corner, goes out, turns and comes down, turns and goes to the left. Option key for a corner, goes down to the right, turns and comes back around to the left, and click. Option key for a corner comes down, move, down to the left, move, up to the left. Option key for a corner comes down to the left and ends on the left. Option key for a corner goes down to the right and comes straight down. Option key for a corner goes down, move, down, move, down, move, comes around the tip of the thumb and comes back up. Option key for a corner goes down to the left and then up to the left. Option key for a corner, short line for that short little bump in the fabric right there. Option key for a corner, then I move, drag, move, drag. Option key for a corner, let go of the option key at the end of your curve. Option key for a corner, let go of the option key at the end of your curve. Option key for a corner. Now I come down before the turn, come around after that turn, and come up to end that turn. Option key for a corner, go down to the left, come around the turn, up to the left, and up to the left to end. Option key for a corner, I'll go up to the left, move, up to the left, move, come around that corner and click. Option key for a corner, go up to the left, turn right before the curve, go up to the right, come around that curve and go back to the right, and click to end. Option key for a corner, go up to the left, turn and go up to the right. Option key for a corner. I'll go right up the edge of her arm because it barely bends. Let go and move. I'll click and drag up. Let go and move. And I'll click and drag up. Let go and move. Up. Option key for a corner. It goes up to the left. No option key at the end and it goes up. Option key, it goes up to the left. No option key at the end and it goes up. Option key to start from a corner. No option key at the end as it goes up to the left. Option key for a corner, it comes down. No option key at the end as it comes down. Option key for a corner, it goes down to the right, then turns and comes down to the left. Option key for a corner starts to go down to the right, then it turns and comes down to the left. Option key for a corner, it comes down right along the edge because her hip barely bends. Click and drag down, let go and move. 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 Click and drag down. This is getting really repetitive, isn't it? I hope you're paying attention. Let go, move. Click and drag down, let go, move. Click and drag down. There's yet another corner. Option key on my Mac. Down to the right, let go and move. Now I turn and go slightly down to the left. Let go, move. Slightly back down, let go, move. Slightly back down to the left, let go and move. All the way down and all the way back to the start. I can zoom out. There we go. And I have one big continuous tracing all the way around. Now I go to my paths panel. Double click. We would call that Harley. Now I click the pop-up menu and I make a selection around this character. I want to cut her out like I cut her out with a pair of scissors, so the feather will be 0. Feather means no blurry edges. I'll click OK. Now I switch to my move tool. I can move her up. Wait a second. Drop her back in. And now that I've dropped her back in, I noticed there was a little gap between her hammer and her head. So I'll just zoom in and do a tracing on this file. No big deal. Click and drag up, let go and move. Option key for a corner, we'll make a little bump right there. Option key for a corner, we'll go up, let go and move, up. Option key for a corner, it comes down, let go and move, down to the right, let go. Option key for a corner and click for that short, tiny little straight edge. Option key, click and drag down to the left, let go and move, down to the right, let go. Option key for a corner, I'll go down, let go and move, down, let go and move, down, and when I end at a corner, I'm going to hold my Option or Alt key to end on a corner. There's my path again. Make it another selection, and now I delete. There we go. So now I can zoom out. I've got our Harley Quinn here. I could cut her off right down there at the bottom, or I could hit Command T to transform, or Control T to transform on a PC. And we'll just click and drag this down a little bit, move her up, because that's where her leg is. Maybe I want her coming down a little bit more like that. But now if I'm trying to fit the whole body, she's starting to look a little small, and I don't really care about her knees. So let's bring her down right to here, just so she has a little bit more of a presence on this cover right here. That should work pretty well. I hit enter on my PC or return on my Mac. And now I have to create a background and a logo. So I don't need this one anymore. We'll close that. I don't need to save it. I'm going to go out to Google Chrome for a minute. And let's go to a new Google image search. And I'm going to type in Harley Quinn comic logo PNG, a file with no background. Okay, and wow, she has a whole bunch of different ones, but I kind of like this one. I'll click on it. Control click or right click with your mouse if you're on a PC. Open the image in a new tab. Right up there is the new tab. I can click and drag this down into Photoshop, but notice it comes with a big white rectangle. That's not going to work for me. Somebody lied. That's not a PNG file. Those cheaters. I'll click this X. I want to find something truly with no background to it. So let's click on this one. There we go. There's our transparency. Control click or right click with your PC. Open the image in a new tab right up here. Click and drag. Notice I get only the name, not the rectangle. I can drag it onto the PS icon and let go of my mouse. So I dragged it from Google right down into Photoshop. If you don't have that option, or your dock is not showing on a PC or whatever, control click or right click and just copy the image. You can do it that way too. So now when I close this up, I'll click back here on Photoshop. So if you dragged the image, you can drag it up and drop it in. If you did it the other way and you just copied the image, let's say you didn't drag it to your Photoshop, just go to edit and paste. And you'll have the same thing pretty much. Okay. So now I'm going to put this right up here. Command T on a Mac to transform. That's Control T on a PC. We'll just drag that out so it has a nice prominent display on there, which obviously means I'm going to have to shrink her down a little more. I'll hit return on my Mac or enter on a PC. And let's bring her layer above that layer. That covers it a little bit too much, so I'm going to hit Command T on my Mac or Control T on my PC, and I'll give her a little bit of overlap right there. Okay, if people don't know who Harley Quinn is, they're probably not going to buy the comic book anyway, so let's go with that right there. I'll hit enter on my PC or return on my Mac, and now I just need a background. I'll click on the gray. I'll come back to Google. And let's go to Google Images one more time right up here. And I'm going to type in Gotham City background. Since that's supposed to be the whole background of the cover, I'm going to go to Tools, Size, Large. And I'm just going to pick this one right here. I kind of like that look. That's cool. I'm not going to see much of the background anyway. Control click or right click on a PC. Open the image up here in a new tab. Click. Control click again or right click on your PC. Copy the image. Now I close my browser. Click on Photoshop. Starting at the bottom, I just go to Edit and Paste. Here's my move tool. I'll move it down. Command T on a Mac or Control T on a PC. I'm going to drag this corner way out here. If I'm running out of room, drag the opposite corner way out there. If you're finding yourself that you don't have enough room, Command and minus on a Mac, that's Control and minus on a PC to zoom out even further so you have room to drag and room to drag. And there is Harley Quinn at night in Gotham City. I hit enter or return to accept the transformation. And you could add anything else you want. If you want more pen tool practice, maybe you have Harley Quinn and Batman. I'm only looking for one character, but if you wanted to do multiple, go for it. Let's see what you come up with. But at least one character. I can go to her character, double click on the right. Maybe we give her a little outer glow effect right there. To kind of play off the whites in her outfit, I'm going to set the blending mode. Multiply is for dark glows. Screen is for bright glows. So now I'll just set the color of my glow right here to white. There we go. And we'll drag the spread back down a little bit. Drag that up. Cool. And there is my comic book cover. Awesome. So I'm looking for you to create any cover. Like I said, if you go to File and Open, you have Batman, you have Harley, who looks angry, you have Harley, who looks happy, you have Iron Man, who's very complicated, you have Sinestro. Look up these names on Google if you're not familiar with the characters, and obviously you have Spider-Man. Okay, your choice. Come up with a comic book cover like that. You're going to have to trace and cut out the characters using that pen tool, and I look forward to seeing your creativity. So let's go to File, save a copy as always, last name, first name, comic cover, or you can call it Harley cover or Batman cover, whoever you want, on your desktop as a JPEG. Always high quality. So there you go. Using the pen tool, not just for drawings, but on actual photographs. That's what it's meant for. If I was tracing out a photo of a dog, I would probably use my quick selection tool. If I was tracing a photo of a car or a person with smooth curves, I would probably use my pen tool. There are different tools for different situations and different subject matters. These comic book characters are great for use with the pen tool. You get nice, smooth edges all the way around. That is the beauty and the purpose of the pen tool. So there you go. Look forward to seeing what you come up with.